Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to people joining from APAC region. My name is Vinay Joshi, and today I'm going to host and present to this webinar. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this webinar to learn about agentic AI in not-for-profit. This will be around 60-minute session, and I'm sure you will find it insightful as well as amazing with what you can achieve in this age of AI. A quick overview on agenda. I will be talking about introductions, who we are, introducing the speakers, and then we would be covering about how to become a frontier firm. We will dive deeper into what Microsoft ecosystem is and how it works through Work IQ, Fabric IQ, and Microsoft Foundry. The session is full of videos as well as demonstrations, live demonstrations we are going to do. So you will get a lot out of it in action. Agentic AI in NFP, I'm going to talk more into detail about it and few use cases we would be touching on it as well. We'll talk about case studies, and we will talk about what's on offer from Exigotech and Microsoft with Microsoft Elevate Team support. Let me introduce to the presenters today. We have Ben Opit with us. Ben Opit is our business transformation lead, and he leads Microsoft Biz Apps and AI initiative at Exigotech. Then we have Anthony Runco. Anthony is part leader from Microsoft and a partner sales management for Microsoft ANZ. So great to have both of you today and learn a lot. A quick intro about Exigotech. Established in 2015, around 150 plus skilled professionals, and we serve across multiple geographies. With Australia headquarter, we serve across Australia and New Zealand, and with our operations in Philippines, Singapore, and India, we cater to customers throughout this Asia Pacific region. So we know what we do for our customers in this region. We love Microsoft, and we are a very much dedicated partner with Microsoft, and we serve across all three clouds of Microsoft. And we have proven that through our solution designations in 6 different categories, as well as specializations in Azure. With this solution designation and specialization, we get a certain advantage that we can pass on to our customers during different stages when they are looking forward to adopt to Microsoft. We are also a Telstra partner, and we have been awarded as Telstra Microsoft Partner of the Year just last year. We have been also Telstra NAS partner. And in terms of awards, we were recognized for our efforts for one of the Singapore Business Samaritans of Singapore, where we were nominated at a global level from Microsoft as an NFP partner. Other industry awards like ARN Innovation Awards, we have received them. And being security as one of the service we provide and into the information technology business, you cannot take security as a granted. So we take it pretty seriously. We are an ISO 27001 company, and we also are Cyber GRX, which is a Microsoft risk assessment guide for GDPR. So with this, let me not hold you any further with what we are looking forward to achieve today. Let me bring on Anthony again and hand it over to Anthony to take us through how we can become a frontier firm in nonprofit.
Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to join. Before we get started, just really quickly a little bit about me. My partner and I, we have a daughter and a son, and in the last few days of summer, we're likely to be spending most of it down at our local beach. But when I am here at Microsoft, as Vinay said, I get the pleasure of working with our partners in an amazing segment of non-for-profit and education. And today I'm going to try my best around articulating what is it that we're calling a frontier firm here at Microsoft. Why does it matter? Who is doing it? And what are some of the examples? And if you just allow me to be a little direct, we're entering a shift that goes well beyond automating tasks with AI. The organizations moving fastest are what Microsoft calls frontier firms. They're redesigning how work gets done around agentic AI. And this isn't about pilot, it's about scaling intelligence. Agentic AI can reason, collaborate, act, handling research, reporting coordination, and insight. So people can focus on mission outcomes. For you and your customers, that means less time on administration and more time impact in service delivery, fundraising, and communities. Most organizations still treat AI as a layer on top. Frontier firms rebuilding their operating models around it, not as a tool, but as a foundation. And when intelligence is abundant and autonomous, execution accelerates, layers reduce, and humans shift from managing process to setting direction. The leadership question for you in this call is simple. If intelligence is no longer the constraint, what are you optimized for? This isn't about replacing people, it's about elevating them. And every choice or every organization faces the same choice. Lead the transformation or spend the next year or years catching up. In our conversations and research, common themes emerge. Nonprofits today are under real pressure. Rising demand for services, staff shortages and burnout, declining donor retention, financial instability, and inefficient operations driven by outdated tech. The demand is increasing, resources are tightening, and teams are being asked to do more with less, often without the tools to keep up. And AI is already transforming nonprofits today. It's helping organizations align more closely to their mission, make smarter strategic decisions, automate operations, protect that data, and accelerate fundraising. And the result is greater efficiency, stronger donor engagement, and more sustainable impact right now, not someday. And as we go through these slides, I'll have some customer examples, some demos to share, and we will specifically look at Contoso, a fictional mid-sized organization that represents many customers we work with in this segment. But the bottom line is AI is already driving transformation, and nonprofits that embrace it are seeing measurable results in efficiency, impact, and relationships. But what does it mean to be, this frontier firm or becoming a frontier firm as a nonprofit? And to say, simply to say that AI is the catalyst here, but it's helping nonprofits modernize across these 4 areas: staff experience, program delivery, supporter engagement, and operational transformation. And the idea isn't just about adopting new tech, as I mentioned earlier. It's about fundamentally reimagining how your organization operates, delivers its mission, and engages with your team members and supporters in the community. For nonprofits, becoming frontier means empowering every worker and volunteer to do more, streamlining that program delivery and modernizing the experience for those that you serve. And as we move forward through these slides and the rest of the presentation today, consider this: where does your business and organization stand on the journey? And what would it look like for you to become a frontier nonprofit? What's one area where AI could help you take a bold step? We're going to watch a brief video sharing how Microsoft Copilot can help your organization. Hopefully that's an example, if you do have Copilot, that you can relate to. I certainly can, going from Copilot to Word to Calendar. So hopefully that's something that you all experience as well if you have Copilot. One of the 2 examples I want to share is around engaging supporters and funders. This slide highlights how AI and Copilots are transforming the way nonprofits connect with donors and supporters. And I think you'll get these slides as well. So I'm not going to go through every example, but if I talk about the first example, sort of modernizing a fundraising strategy, by using platforms like Azure and Power BI, WaterAid has centralized donor data, fostering collaboration and moving from local fundraising efforts to an integrated global campaign. And automation is the key here. It frees up your fundraising teams to focus on strategy rather than manual tasks. And the big takeaway is AI isn't just making fundraising more efficient. It's helping nonprofits build lasting, meaningful relationships with their supporters. And as you think about your own organization, just think about where does automation and data-driven insight fit in, and how could it help you engage donors in new ways? I'm going to flick again to a video which shows Megan using Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, to help with grant writing process, from using Copilot over to Word and inside Outlook.
Today, we're going to explore how Microsoft's latest AI tools can support your nonprofit organization. Specifically, we'll dive into how Microsoft 365 Copilot can help you create content effectively, efficiently, and securely. Here's a process you may be all too familiar with: writing a grant application. Even if you're applying for the same grant every year, the content of your application will likely change. Let's look at how a nonprofit, Contoso, would leverage some AI tools to simplify the process. Before we jump in, let's start with some basics about the AI-powered solutions we're exploring today. Some of the most exciting advancements in AI are coming out of large language models called LLMs and generative AI. LLMs take a question, known as a prompt, provided by the user. That's you. Then the LLM analyzes it and creates an appropriate response based on relevant data, like previously created materials or information from the internet. Copilot also respects your privacy and security and does not retain or train on your organization's data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is an AI assistant powered by an LLM. It can help you with various tasks across different platforms, such as Windows, Bing, and Microsoft 365. As a user, your interaction with Copilot is largely the same, regardless of whether you use it with Bing, Windows, or Microsoft 365. Simply ask Copilot a question via a prompt and get an answer in response. The only difference is where you ask the question. Let's see how that works in Contoso's grant writing scenario. For the purpose of our example, Megan, a development associate at Contoso, is writing a grant to support a digital literacy initiative in her community. First, Megan needs to find some external data to validate Contoso's proposal. Since she needs information outside of Contoso's own data, she toggles to the web and asks Microsoft 365 Copilot to find relevant information on the state of digital literacy in the impacted community in Washington state. Copilot summarizes relevant statistics, providing sources for reference. When our development associate has follow-up questions, she can ask Copilot to refine the response and even change the tone of the response to meet her needs. These answers are just the starting point. Megan uses the responses as a basis for her rough draft, but ensures that she crafts the final language in a way that is true to Contoso's brand voice. Now, Megan will use Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word to create and edit her grant proposal document. She can ask Copilot to help with tasks, such as draft a grant proposal for Contoso's digital empowerment program and specify documents she wants Copilot to reference. She can drop in the external data she found on the web, plus she can merge it with internal data as well. Our development associate can pull in an Excel table of program metrics and ask Copilot, write an executive summary for my proposal. After Megan cleans up her draft, she can summarize it and share it with her team on email. As you can see, using Microsoft 365 Copilot can make your grant research, drafting, and sharing process easier and faster. Ready to get started? To get started with Microsoft 365 Copilot, visit aka.ms/amplifycreativity. And if you're a registered nonprofit with Microsoft, you can access grants and discounts to support your Copilot journey at microsoft.com/nonprofits.
I mean, really good example. I mean, three things I picked up. Copilot is really good when you have a blank canvas. This is something that I do every day, is helping me start to get started on something. As you probably heard, Megan was driving the engagement and revising the work that was coming back. Humans are still doing, setting the judgment, and the Copilot is supporting. And the third thing that I love, that it helps with tonality. I absolutely use Copilot all the time to help me refine my tone. The second example, customer example, I'd like to share is around delivering impactful programs. This slide shows how nonprofits are using AI to scale their impact and deliver more effective programs. And if I start with Operation Smile, they integrated Azure OpenAI, which streamlined how medical events are tracked and triaged. AI agents analyze reports and images in real time, uncovering performance trends and helping refine processes, which ultimately improve that patient experience. Instead of humans reviewing reports and KPIs, AI agents are continuously ingesting operational signals and surfacing meaningful deviations. Now, you might say, okay, but I thought you said humans aren't replaced. Doesn't this replace what we do? So AI detects patterns, correlates signals, flags deviations, explains what and where. What we do running the AI is we have contextual judgment. We set the priorities, we own the outcomes, and we explain why it matters. Not every optimal decision is the right decision. AI scales intelligence, humans scale judgment. The last video I have for you is Alex. He donates his time while traveling, and we're going to see how that works for him.
Meet Alex, a potential volunteer and donor who loves to give back while traveling. Alex is planning a trip to Spain and has found a non-profit organization called Contoso that aligns with his interests. As Alex navigates the Contoso website, he encounters an Azure OpenAI-based chatbot. Alex's primary language is French, so he starts by asking, "Hello, do you speak French?" The Azure OpenAI seamlessly switches to French, making the interaction smooth and comfortable for Alex. Alex is curious about Contoso's mission and asks, "I would like to know more about the organization's mission." The AI provides a detailed explanation of Contoso's goals and initiatives, ensuring Alex understands the impact of his potential contributions. Next, Alex inquires, "What services do you offer?" The AI lists the various services Contoso provides, from community outreach programs to educational workshops, highlighting the diverse ways Alex can get involved. Since Alex is traveling to Spain, he asks, "I am traveling to Spain and want to know more about events and volunteering opportunities in the Iberian Peninsula." First, the AI confirms Alex's location, then quickly pulls up a list of upcoming events and volunteer opportunities in the region, making it easy for Alex to plan his trip. Alex is also interested in making a donation and asks, "Is there someone I can talk to about making a donation?" The AI provides contact information for a representative who can assist with donations, ensuring Alex can easily get in touch with the right person. Thanks to Azure OpenAI, Alex enjoyed a seamless and informative experience on Contoso's website. The AI's multilingual capabilities, detailed information provision, and ability to connect Alex with the right resources significantly enhance Contoso's engagement and support for its constituents.
Yeah, really cool call out around multilingual models. Look, that's it from me. I don't want to talk too much about this slide about why Microsoft. Hopefully the last sort of 10-15 minutes really just serves as an inflection point around, what else you can be doing, what other conversations you can have to your customers, to your partners like Exigo Tech, to Microsoft around Agentic AI, and how you can become a frontier firm as well. And with that, thank you for your time. I'll pass over to Benno.
Thank you, Anthony. Now, first, I want to start off with something called Microsoft IQ, and this stack is just incredible. It came out of San Francisco at Ignite in 2025. And one thing that is very clear for me is AI agents are no longer productivity add-ons. They're becoming the operational backbone of modern digital ecosystems. To make these agents reliable, context-aware, and enterprise-ready, Microsoft introduced 3 new foundational intelligence layers. This was all about giving AI far better business context so it can drive real outcomes and not just generate impressive responses. Microsoft introduced new concepts called the IQ stack, and it gave AI real business context, surfacing intelligent data at the right time and really understanding your business. The IQ stack is made up of 3 layers working together. Work IQ, which understands how work happens across your Microsoft 365 tenancy, from emails and meetings and documents and teams, so that AI understands priorities, patterns, and where effort is wasted. Fabric IQ brings your data together in Microsoft Fabric, which is a Microsoft Advanced Data and Analytics solution, and adds meaning through semantic layers, allowing AI to reason over business data like donors and programs and grants and finances. And I have a very small demo on that shortly. And Foundry IQ is the knowledge layer grounding AI agents in secure, trusted, governed information. So AI responses are accurate and now actionable. Together, the IQ stack enables AI agents that don't just answer questions, but understands context and takes meaningful actions. Okay, let me share a little bit more on Work IQ. Work IQ is one of the intelligent layers, and it's all about how work actually happens inside your business. Work IQ creates a personalized and intelligent experience by combining three elements. One, memory, your working style, habits, and patterns. Two, your inference, which is that contextual insights and predictive actions, and now remembers. And three is your emails, meetings, documents, and your line of business systems. This results in AI that doesn't just respond to prompts, it understands how you work, anticipates where you need help, and helps agents act with real intent. It looks at how people collaborate across sharing documents and meetings and emails and chats, so it better understands your business. Work IQ understands patterns like where collaboration is heavy, or where work is getting stuck, or where people are overloaded, and where work is being handled manually. All of this powered by Microsoft 365 data and organizational graph signals. That's Work IQ. Now, Microsoft have a fantastic demo on Work IQ. Let me play that video.
Microsoft 365 Copilot with Work IQ, AI built for work. Work IQ is the intelligence layer that enables Microsoft 365 Copilot and agents to know you, your work, and your company. Work IQ brings together data, memory, and inference. It includes work data, emails, chats, meetings, and files, capturing how work gets done. It's woven into the apps you use every day, like PowerPoint, Excel, Word, Outlook, and Teams, so Copilot is always learning. It has memory, your style, preferences, and relationships, so Copilot understands your unique patterns. Finally, it includes inference, which brings it all together, enabling Copilot to connect the dots to unlock insights and predict the next best action. You can even tap into Work IQ to build custom agents. It connects everything that matters inside your company and turns it into an experience that feels effortless, powerful, and personal.
I think it's a great video, and it really explains it very nicely. Now, we all understand that data is the fuel that powers AI. And I do want to play a video for you shortly, but our customers have data all over the place, from SharePoint, Excel, OneDrive, Xero, to Microsoft Teams, and even old on-premise SQL servers. And maybe in even different clouds like maybe AWS or Google Cloud. Microsoft have invested heavily in this space, so you can quickly and easily discover insights and data sets from lots of different sources. And Microsoft Fabric is the fastest growing workload, seeing a 33% year-on-year growth in revenues. It's a big focus area for Microsoft, and it's becoming the #1 place to reason over your data. So that brings me to the Fabric IQ bit. Fabric IQ takes it to the next level. It unifies data across organizations in Microsoft Fabric. So AI isn't guessing from scattered sources, it's reasoning over a single governed foundation. And on top of that sits Fabric workloads, data, engineering, warehouses, lakehouses, real-time analytics, and more, working together like one team and not separate tools. In short, we've moved from seeing data to understanding context to taking action safely and at scale. Think of it as the brain for analytics and insights inside your organization. Microsoft Fabric brings all that together in one lake. One lake is a bit like a OneDrive for all your data. Now let's have a demo, and I will ask things like which websites assets associated with Christmas donations, or what regions in New South Wales have the biggest and highest drives dates driven, or how does the do not spam status affect our communication? It uses Copilot and AI to give you insights without needing to write complex queries. You can just talk to your data. Now, let's watch a quick video on Fabric IQ, and then we're going to jump into a demonstration.
Data is the fuel that powers AI, but data alone is not enough. AI needs an understanding of what the data means, how things relate, and which actions turn insight into impact. Introducing Microsoft Fabric IQ, the semantic foundation that unites data, business meaning, and action into a single unified view of your organization. Model your business using visual, no-code tools, so the people who know your company can adapt it as fast as it evolves. Create entities over all your data in one lake, not only your analytical data and Power BI semantic models, but also your operational, geospatial, and real-time data. Navigate your business the way it actually runs, not by tables and schemas, but by organizational concepts. And ultimately, elevate your teams and your AI to ask questions, reason, and act in the language of your business. Powered by this live, unified view of your organization. Trigger actions in real time using rules and empower AI operations agents to run your business, because now they understand its live context. Connect Fabric IQ seamlessly with Foundry IQ, uniting your live business context with the knowledge captured in your documents and communications. This combination from Microsoft gives developer-built agents in Foundry unmatched context, so they can make decisions you trust and continuously optimize your operations for superior outcomes. From unified data to unified intelligence, this is IQ in Microsoft Fabric.
They're fantastic videos, and you may think, oh, these are really well-curated videos, they look terrific. This is actually how these programs work. They are just incredible. Now, I do want to move on to a bit of a demonstration for you. One of the challenges we have is wrangling siloed data, and it's a challenge for every business. So how do we wrangle this data into meaning? How can we use the Microsoft Fabric IQ to not just understand our data, but giving us some context? So this is an example on the screen of the reports that we usually get asked to review. As you can see, it's hard to look at. And it gives us some insights, and we can make some interpretations and make some strategy, but there is a better way. And what if you could just use natural language and ask some questions? So I have created a demo. I'm about to stop sharing and resharing shortly, and then Vinay can continue. Just very quickly, top left, we have a data set from fundraising platforms, including donation IDs, dates and campaigns and donors. Then on the B slide, we have some data from marketing solutions, including locations and reports and beneficiaries served. And we've got data from our budgets and variants, as well as some hours efforts. So we have, in this demonstration, I've provided about 6 different data sources. And here is where this is, and also on top of this, we got some questions from Microsoft datasets, because I did use M365 Copilot to create this data set. It even came up with some really intelligent solutions that I could reason over my data. But let me stop sharing the presentation for a minute, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to give you a quick look into what we were able to demonstrate. Again, all demo data. So if you've not seen it, this is the Microsoft Fabric interface, and I've gone straight into my data lake. And you can see quite a few things on the screen. You can see a folder structure where we keep some data. You can see an actual lakehouse. It's where we store our data sets. We can also see some of our SQL analytics. Can't say the word, analytics. Can't think how to say that word, analytics. There you go, got it. So it's, first of all, what we probably should do is show you some of the data sets, okay? So as I mentioned, 6 different siloed data sets. Could be from your marketing, it could be from your finance. In this example, it was just donation data with some donator IDs, some dates, some of the amounts, some of the campaigns and whether they were an event, some locations and regions, and which assets were utilized. That's just some data that we used to create this data set. And on donors, we've got again the donor ID and their date of birth and their gender, their age cohort, again the region and their state. And then across to finance data, which talks about the program IDs and the month that it happened, some budget versus actual as well. Again, different set of data sets brought into this lakehouse. Then we talked about program outcomes. That's a very quick overview of what that actually looks like. But let's go back to our actual agent. Now, I've got a little trick that I'm about to type a couple of keys in my keyboard, and it'll actually prompt some questions. But I just want to quickly show you, this is the agent instructions that we've got. It's called agent instructions. And I'm looking at my non-for-profit agent, and we've given it some context. And we do this piece. You don't need to worry about that. This is something that we do with our data agents. And we create this context. And then what I can do is actually make this a little bit wider, because it's probably not quite wide enough. And I'm going to ask some questions. Now, out of the box, Microsoft produced some questions that you can use, but I've got pre-configured ones. So I'm just going to do my little shortcuts. And this is my first question. Which website assets are mostly associated with Christmas donations? We expect that around Christmas, there is an uptake in donations. So let's see what that looks like. You can actually open up the arrow here and see what the reasoning is. As an example, this is an SQL query that's been built by itself. And we get a breakdown, the summary of the top 5 website assets by Christmas donations. So straight away, just talking to our data, we're able to get those insights. I've got a few more questions. Let's do the next one. Which regions have the greatest drop-off in donations over the past 12 months? Might be some information there. There might be an event or a regional importance that we want to understand. So these queries take about 10 to 12 seconds, depending on your capacity. We have a demo capacity, so it's taking a tiny bit longer than usual. But as an example here, we can see that Brisbane has about a 10% drop-off over the last 10 months. That may be important because you have data sets. And there are also follow-up questions that you can ask as well. Again, fantastic questions. So let's do another question. What are the contact channels and their distribution? Okay, so let's find out, where is most of our donators coming from? What's the most successful channel for us to focus on? Now, can you imagine building this data set using Power BI? It is possible, but it's just so much easier to do it like this. And as you can see here, emails are still our #1 way that we're getting getting donor response. I've got a couple more questions here. So based on prior programs, which grants would be the most suitable for our next campaign? That is probably the #1 question that NFPs want to answer literally every day. So let's see what the answer is. Now, this is interesting. This is the semantic model taking over. Now it's saying here, I don't have direct access to the external grants database, which is odd because I've given it to it. But what it's saying is that I can give you some meaningful recommendations, which you can then continue to reason over. So for example, it's suggesting, would you like to see the top programs by recent outcomes and financial performance? Great, let's have a look at that. So semantic knowledge, obviously, because it is a non-deterministic model, you do have to sometimes tweak it a little bit and ask it another way. So I've done that in this example. So it's analyzing the lakehouse, and we are going to get an answer. Okay, so program number 8, education, 1,042 beneficiaries served with an average cost of 88.33. Excellent insights. Like, that is just gold for non-for-profits. I've got another couple of questions here. Show me donations made within 7 days of donor's birthday by gender. Let's see what that, again, this is just random data, like don't take it for gospel or anything. Excellent. So as we can see here, some data around that as well. You should see on my screen a bit of information about Foundry. So let me show a little bit more information on Foundry. This is your end-to-end AI development environment, more suited towards your enterprise scale non-for-profits, where data needs to be managed and protected with additional security, but allow others to source and other sources to be brought into agent development. Your development team can connect Foundry to GitHub or VS Code, even Copilot Studio, to begin developing complex AI workloads with over 1,400 pre-built connectors and agentic MCP servers to allow autonomously agents to communicate with human intervention. Sounds scary, but this is reality, and it can now be built with these solutions. So you can continue to your line of work, including service tools you may use in your business like ServiceNow, Atlassian, or even Adobe. Microsoft Foundry is the foundation for building and operating AI solutions safely at enterprise scale. It brings together model selections from over 11,000 models. Orchestrations using Foundry agent services are grounded in security, have lifecycle management, and all into a single platform. What makes Foundry powerful is it allows organizations to build agentic AI that is grounded in trust, governed by enterprise controls, and integrated with your existing systems. So you can even run local models if you want. So Microsoft Foundry enables you to do more. Rather than experimenting in siloed foundries, enable your teams to move from proof of concept to production with governance using Microsoft Microsoft's AI trust principles, built-in security, monitoring, and compliance. In simple terms, Foundry is how you turn AI from an interesting idea into a reliable, business-ready capability that can support real business outcomes across your organization. A quick video on Foundry IQ next. Foundry IQ is the fully integrated management solution layer for AI agents, built to improve response, performance, using your knowledge and automated IO workflows that enable enterprise-ready grounding. Now, what that does in plain English is it gives agents a single endpoint to access high-quality organizational data, so you can get answers with richer context. Think of it as the place your agents go to get and find trust and knowledge first. Foundry IQ uses agentic retrieval in the Azure AI search spaces, federated with grounding across your across your estates to supplement private data, self-reflected search, and search controls to balance latency versus quality, delivering high-quality, steerable answers. Microsoft recently reported 36% uplift in response relevance using agentic retrieval. Now, why it matters? Together with Fabric IQ and Work IQ and Foundry IQ, Microsoft, the IQ stack is that intelligence layer across your data, apps, and productivity, so agents operate in a deep context and can make more reliable decisions. Now, just looking at time, we have a quick video, and then I think I'm going to hand it over to Vinay.
AI agents help us answer more questions than ever. But here's the challenge. Enterprise knowledge is scattered everywhere across data stores, SharePoint, internal applications, and the public web. Most agents aren't built to handle this, leaving out critical context needed to respond accurately. Introducing Foundry IQ, the unified knowledge layer for agents. Foundry IQ connects index and remote data sources into a reusable knowledge base and uses an agent retrieval engine to plan and iterate across multiple sources automatically. It figures out where to look, how to search, and when to refine, delivering higher quality contexts out of the box with no RAG experience required. Developers simply connect the knowledge base, and Foundry IQ does the orchestration. The result? Smarter, more reliable agents grounded in your enterprise knowledge. Foundry IQ, the next generation of RAG and the knowledge layer for agents. Built on Azure AI Search. Available now in the Microsoft Foundry portal.
Thank you, Ben and Anthony. You have already set the stage and made it easy for me to dive into the next chapter. And that is what agents are and how AI agents can help NFP business. So let's get started. What are agents? Agents can automate and execute many business processes, but don't mix up with agents with automation only. Agents can help you research, brainstorm, recommend, and be your assistant. I will dive deeper into what multiple agents can do together and attend bigger complex scenarios. AI agents are transforming business, helping create cost savings, efficiency, and revenue growth. Agents from Microsoft are designed for work, integrated where you work, built with Work IQ, as mentioned by Benno, and secured by Microsoft enterprise-grade security. Microsoft have created many ready-to-go agents to help you on your NFP workloads. We have curated few agents for you, and you can click onto these links, or as we will send you this deck, you can go through it. This can be also made available in your M365 tenancy. So let's look into one agent quick demo created by Benno. Again, he loves doing this, and he mentioned that he just took 90 seconds to create this agent. And with this, he had one prompt that to identify trending topics in NFP, and that he was in an age care space. The agent summarized, identifying all the trend topics happening, and then put it together for the user to review. That can be used further into the marketing purpose and defining strategy. So what agent did summarize, right? It talked about aged care reform and compliance. How do we practically implement this? Workforce sustainability and well-being, aging in place and home care models, digital transformation and AI, governance, transparency, and impact. This is all agent summarized through this a simple agent created, which have saved many hours for an individual to go and web research and summarize things together. This is one of the examples. So now let's understand what are different type of agents. Again, from left side, where we have a simple agent which does retrieval of information. Then bit on an advanced side, we have task automation, and towards more advanced and complex scenario, we have autonomous agents, which can bring along multiple agents working together, and for an escalation or some approvals, they can bring along human in loop, which is very important. And Microsoft has a range of tools for agent creation at each of this layer. For end users, it is Microsoft Copilot. For makers, it is Copilot Studio. And for advanced level, for the people, for the businesses who have in-house developers, they can use all these Foundry resources to develop those complex agents and multiple agents. Let's have a closer look at nonprofit. For nonprofit organizations, two things are most important. One is fundraising/grant, and second one is the program delivery. Potential use cases for the agents from fundraising, marketing to complex program delivery, data management, and finance. Agents can be created and used across the board. And this is where, when you need something advanced or guide or setting up, Exegotech helps you. Let's look at into the orchestration, governance, and control. From either agent, you can start either through Agent Builder or from Copilot Studio. You can begin where you feel most comfortable. That is the user experience at the top. Copilot is an orchestrator or engine, bringing in instructions, knowledge, and actions. You now have more than 1400 plus Power Platform connectors. You also have Microsoft Graph API, and not to forget SharePoint sites. You get access to all that information. Multiple agents can work together in more complex scenario, which can be orchestrated in the same manner as human orchestrate, task, action, items, and passing the information in a process from one stage to another. Now, when you think of automating the process through AI agents, the concern on security is absolutely viable. Microsoft again covers it at all levels. With Microsoft 365 Copilot Enterprise Data Protection, you can have your data encrypted, isolated, and security enforced at each step. You can set up access control on who can access, create, and use agents, set policies, and also label the information for discovery, classify, and to protect your sensitive data. And finally, agents governance. It is important to manage the performance like humans, which agent is performing. So with agent governance, you can track and manage agents from creation to end of life at scale. You can set policies, resource usage, and access to publishing. Up until now, we have talked about what agentic AI is and why it matters for nonprofits. Now we are moving into how this looks in practice. What you're seeing here represents the idea of agent working alongside people, not replacing teams, but supporting them with intelligence, context, and automation. This is where AI starts to feel less theoretical and more tangible. Agentic AI isn't about doing more technology work. It's about freeing your people to focus on mission, impact, and outcomes while AI handles the heavy lifting. For that, Microsoft, similar to agent templates, Microsoft has out-of-box agents available. At Exegotech, we use researcher, sales agent, and facilitator on a daily basis. And believe me, we are saving hundreds of hours in a month. If you remember, Benos did 90-second marketing agent. He used the researcher agent to do that job. You can start right now and connect your M365 Copilot to your SharePoint site and begin to find new ways to improve productivity. But remember, before you connect your data, you need to go through security and governance. And this is what we help in Copilot readiness programs, which I will discuss later. Now, let me hand it back to Benno to discuss more about how nonprofit can transform the organization. Over to you, Benno.
Thanks, Vinay. That leads us to this section, and part of this presentation is how does it happen for our non-for-profit business? Transformation is not so easy to do. There's a lot of change management, and now what we want to do is talk a little bit how nonprofits can make use of agents. And I've got one scenario to talk through. I'm going to do it very quickly because I do have another demonstration for you, and I can see we're running out of time. Now, on the screen here, we have many of these scenarios, but this is an example of a budget agent. Now, in this example, it's a terrific use case for programs or budget managers, maybe even finance teams, to keep an eye on top of programs and investments in your non-for-profit business. The actual goal of this budget agent is to make it easier for teams to track budgets and manage expenses and reconcile invoices. And it is doable. You can do this yourself. By automating routine finance tasks, teams can save time and reduce errors and get clearer picture on how their funds are being used. This budget agent can improve operational efficiencies, enhance budget performance, improve communications and insights. Imagine being able to ask your agent, hey, show me the outstanding POs, or list the most recent invoices they may be incorrectly allocated. The insights and agents can surface with this data is incredible, but you can do more than just with this one workload. As an example, you can connect this agent to other team members as well. Here's an example of how you can use Copilot Agent, and it can be surfaced to get more relevant information. By connecting your budget agent that you've just created to SharePoint, now your finance team can really start to see how powerful the agent can be. And the agent enables internal users to ask questions like, last quarter, we were able to donate funds to last quarter, we were able to allocate our donor funds to each project. Which were they? Or which programs yielded the most donor interest in regional New South Wales? That was one of the examples I had done on that Foundry query. And what insights can you tell me about Christmas campaign? Now, these are just some examples. Imagine what you could do with your data once you connect to the Microsoft IQ stack, Microsoft Graph, and Fabric. Imagine what you can do for your finance teams as well. Your teams will be able to invoice autonomously, reducing the time they spend on manual processes. No one really wants to do these manual processes anyway. It's almost expected now that you don't need to do these things manually. Your program directorates will be able to reconcile budgets and monitor spending against budgets, and the benefits just keep on adding up. So let me just move on to my next demo. This is something I was thinking, what else can I do here to give more context to you guys? And I have built this agent called the NFP AU Governance Agent. As a director of a non-for-profit, what are my challenges? What do I not know that I should know? Now, I could go and find it or Google it, but what I did was I built this agent. Now, if you want a thumbs up or love heart or like at the end of this demonstration, I'm more happy to share with you how I built this demonstration, and I can share with you the deck. But here's an example of the NFP governance agent. I'm just going to share my screen, and I better move quickly because I've got like 5 minutes to go. Someone already love-hearted that, by the way, but you haven't seen it yet, so you can't love-heart it yet. But here's an example. This is the NFP AU governance agent. So first question, director responsibilities. What are the legal responsibilities as a director and as a registered charity under the ACNC governance standards? Again, very easy to create. You can actually do this yourself. It was really easy to do. Okay, we have a ton of data. We're running out of time, so I'm not going to read through it all. The recording is available, so you can actually see the outcome. But it does talk about suitability of responsible people, governance standards and duties. So I've got a whole list of outcomes here that I was able to reason over. We are not going to have enough time to do that, so I'm just going to stop sharing.
Okay. Case study, just cautious of time, so I might rush a bit, but very, very fantastic case study. This is for Palmera, is a non-profit organization, absolutely. And what they look for is getting the food security for people in vulnerable communities in Sri Lanka. This is an Australian not-for-profit whose cause is affecting people in remote areas in Sri Lanka. Pretty fantastic. By partnering with Exegotech and leveraging Microsoft Power Platform solutions, we replace fragmented manual data with modern Power Apps and Power BI capabilities. Amazing. Advanced level work has been done on this. About 6 Power Apps has been developed where people and the program, when they run the program, they go into the very remote areas and provide support to the families in terms of education, in terms of a training, and they even run the microfinance as well. Not only that, they record the results and then they get the output of those results. All this thing is done in real time and they gain this insight. So the solutions that we have developed, they have a data-driven approach, help the organization reach more than 20,000 people, achieve 99% of food security, and that too during periods of crisis, right? So this is an amazing case study. I will be happy to talk through it in more detail. If anyone wants to know more, please reach out to us. All these things been done, a lot of agents been created, but the general question is, how do we manage and maintain those agents? So Microsoft has introduced Agent 365. I believe this is in public preview right now. And what I will do is this Agent 365 helps you keep a track on how your agents are behaving, how much they have been utilized, and what effect that they are bringing to your business. So I'm going to go and play this video to give a quick understanding.
AI agents are becoming part of everyday work, helping teams move faster, automate tasks, and scale ideas. The big question is, how do you keep it all secure, compliant, and under control? The good news is, you don't need to start from scratch. Give agents the same tools as your users. Extend your existing infrastructure, apps, and protections to agents, leveraging familiar capabilities tailored to their needs. With Microsoft Agent 365, every agent is registered, visible, and governed, all in one place. The result? Strong security, enhanced confidence, and a simpler path to scalable AI.
So what's next, right? We have seen so much of information, so much of tools, technology available. What's next? So we will recommend go for a Copilot readiness assessment with Executech, and we will see which business would be eligible for funding. And we are also running workshops for agent development. So there are high chances that you might be eligible for some sort of a funding. For an example, what do we cover in Copilot readiness assessment? Is we have a 3-phase approach to it, where we inspire and design, empower and achieve and realize value, and we make you ready for a specific business cases to get started with Copilot, right? So this is a great way of getting your business ready, because we discuss about connecting the SharePoint, but you don't want that information to be just shared with everyone, right? Not only this, we also have with the help of Microsoft and Microsoft Elevate team. Thank you to Anthony. We have a funding available for running this Copilot readiness assessment business of around $12,000. So only few seats, I would say. There is a register link over here. Please click through. If you are not able to register right now, you can always get in contact with us, and we will of course send this presentation as well as follow up with you. So you will have that opportunity. Along with this, we also have a fabric readiness assessment. Unfortunately, it is not sponsored, but we can find some ways of partially or full funding. It depends on case to case. I don't want to commit openly, so reach out to us and we will find a way how we can help your business and drive that impact that you're trying to deliver in community. And with this, most important thing, do give us a feedback how we are doing, so that we can keep on bringing this quality content to you and help you in providing that impact to the community. I will bring on Anthony onto the stage as well for all of you, just to say thank you for everyone to attend this event. We have many more events coming up, so stay tuned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anthony, once again for being part of this and taking us through this.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care.